Hello and welcome to the 5 Keys of University Access, or 5 Keys to University Access. It takes all 5 to unlock university success, and that's what we want for you. I'm Scott Martin, and it's my pleasure to be sharing this short seminar with you. It's really to be an overview and hopefully to spark you to go and get continued information, some more information about this process and how it works for you, where you are in the process, and so on. Yeah, so just very briefly about me, I'm the founder of Global Student Solutions, and I'm very happy to present this information to you. I love sharing this information with folks all around the world. I personally grew up in Kenya and have spent some time in several other countries, including 7 years in Indonesia, where my son grew up and where I was a high school principal and guidance counselor. These days, I love coaching. I love sharing information. I love walking alongside folks, alongside families and students as you try to figure out this whole college craziness. And I know it can be super stressful. And so the whole point of this today and everything we do is to reduce your stress and your anxiety and move you forward. Today, we're going to really briefly overlook those 5 keys, right? So readiness, and that's something that most people are familiar with, but maybe not familiar with all the aspects of it. The search process, finding the right school, the application process, which is one of the things that people fear the most, students particularly, the financing, which is what parents stress out about the most, and then the most overlooked key, and that's the success when you get there. That's ultimately what everybody wants. We want great learning. We want a great experience. We want safe and hospitable environment. But as we go through the first parts of this, we don't keep in mind that that's the end goal. And I want us to keep that end goal in mind, is that success, that thriving, having a great college experience with lots of learning, lots of experiences, trying things, trying leadership, trying different majors, different studies, styles. All those things are really important, and college is great for that. University is great for that, but often gets overlooked. I will say just right up front, I use college and university synonymously because that's how it's used in America. I realize that if you're watching this from another country, college can mean something different. And when I say college, I'm talking about university. Post-secondary education is what I'm talking about. And I know there's a whole conversation we can have about college, university, but for our purposes today, when I use those words, I'm using them to mean the same thing. Our philosophy here at Global Student Solutions is to use all of our knowledge, all of our experience, and all of our strengths to improve the experience of global students in higher education. We really believe that higher education holds the key to the future, holds the key to greater understanding, to greater opportunity. But if it's not fully realized, then you miss out on that. You miss out on all of that it can have to offer. And I've seen personally too many students struggle unnecessarily. There's a struggle that comes with higher education. There's a difficulty to it. We don't take that away. But the unnecessary, the stress about whether I'll get in or not, the stress about the application process and essays and the finances and all those things, we try to remove as much of that as possible so that you're free to transition well, to enjoy your senior year or your final year of secondary school, and move forward with clear direction into the future. We want, as a result of not only this, but all the things that we do at GSS, for you to be able to save time. Your time is so valuable. We want you to be able to save as much of it as possible. Whether you are a parent, we want you to save your time that you would put into researching and supporting your student. If you're a student, we want you to be able to preserve as much time as you can. This process takes time and takes energy, but it doesn't need to be unnecessary. We also know that humans make better decisions when we're under less stress and we have less anxiety. Yet we have a system that kind of breeds stress and anxiety. And so what we hope today, a better understanding of this will reduce your stress and your anxiety, and you'll be able to enjoy the process more. And ultimately, we believe all of this leads to better choices. The more information you have, the better information you have, not necessarily the more. Ultimately, the better information you have, the better choice you'll make, and the more likely you are to be successful and to thrive at the university of your choice. So again, those 5 keys to university admission are these. Got it? Ready? Readiness, search, application, financing, and then success. Don't forget the 5th one. All 5 of these are really important. So, readiness. This is a whole course to itself, and so we're just going to very quickly highlight it. But basically, there's 6 categories of readiness that you're going to build for your education. Leadership, and in this sense, we use the word servant leadership. We're looking at the kind of impact. So this is what colleges, universities look at in terms of, is this person ready to be a student with us and ready for this level of training? Can they demonstrate or prove to us a servant leadership? And that is not just president of something or the secretary of something. Those are a portion of leadership. But servant leadership is much broader than that and deeper. It can happen in a much wider number of categories, and is a depth, it's a character. And so we could call this column, this pillar, character as well. We call it leadership or servant leadership because it's about how we interact with people and how we support people in positional leadership, how the organizations that we're part of are better because we're part of them. So whether it's a basketball team and you're the starting captain or you're the 12th person on the bench, you can demonstrate servant leadership in whatever role you're in. So whether it's being great in practice or being able to spot a couple of minutes to give a more gifted athlete a break so that they can function at a higher level, everybody can demonstrate servant leadership in whatever role it happens to be in. Your grades demonstrate a level of readiness. So your transcript shows your academic readiness. Your test scores, everybody's familiar with this one, right? You take the SAT or whatever. It demonstrates your ability to put forward in a moment to capture your intellectual ability. It's only one of the 6 keys, but it gets a lot of attention. Your impact. So this is your academic record, or your non-academic activity record. So how you've been involved in your community, sports, drama, music, how well-rounded you are as a person is here. Your support. This has long been recognized that a student support network is key to their success at university. And so your demonstration of that and showing what support you have moving forward. And then finally, the 6th column, which is cultural competency. There's no way to do higher education in a monocultural isolation anymore. It's a complex multicultural world, and a person's ability to navigate that and experiences traveling, living, demonstrate a cultural competency that's important for success beyond secondary school. So the search, finding that right university. This is challenging, but basically it comes down to these basically 3 types: type, location, and program. There's 3 components of your university selection. Finding the right type, and this is there's a lot of really wonderful material online that you can research this. We try to provide this service to the students we work with. but understanding that each university has its own purpose. Obviously, where it's at, and making sure it has a program that you want to study are also important in your university selection. That simplified university admission. So basically, in order to attend a university, you have to apply. And this can be a really stressful. Basically, you're putting yourself out there and saying, will you have me? And nobody likes that vulnerability. The basic entry thing that we want to say, one thing, have a good checklist. We provide one. You can get it free on our website. We think it's the best one. We've taken the ones off the internet, but have a good checklist so you don't miss things. The greatest amount of anxiety is not being sure that you've done everything you're supposed to and having it all in one place. And when you print this document, it should be blank on the back so that you can make your notes about the school on the back there, any additional things that don't fall into our standard checklist that get edited on the back. And that will really help you out. But ultimately, it's really about you being able to prove who you are and what you offer and matching that with what the university is trying to do. So if you understand what the university is trying to accomplish with their graduates, how you fit into that and can articulate that through your application and essay and all of that, that's ultimately how you are successful in admission. The money, or money. It has basically 4 sources: the personal funds, the university, in terms of scholarship or grant money from the university, grants and scholarships, funding from outside of the university, your community, other organizations, and your national government may also provide funds for you. So those are basically the 4 categories that you're going to combine together, and those combined sources need to match up. I will tell you that the sticker price, the amount of money that it says on their website that's going to cost you to attend university, tends to be incorrect. I won't say it's more or less because it depends. But ultimately, you won't know what's really going to cost you to attend that university until you've applied, been accepted, and gone through the process. And so I just want to encourage everyone to be patient on the financial side until you've explored and kind of mastered these other pieces. This one, it'll work out or it won't work out, right? There's nothing you can really affect that outside of these 4 categories. I've said this before, I'll say it as often as I can. Thriving is about being successful, about getting the most out of your university experience. And that's what we want for all global students, for all students who attend a university, to get their most out of it. And a lot of that has to do with your university selection satisfaction comes from whether it meets your expectations or not. And there's 2 parts of that. One, it's having realistic expectations, going into it with the right mindset, and a good amount of knowledge and understanding, really investigating the school before you commit to it. And the second part is your attitude toward learning, toward that experience, going in like you would a culture to understand and to learn and to gain from. Thinking of university as a resource for you to better yourself, not as entertainment or something you like or don't like, but can you learn with using this tool, this university? That's ultimately what we're trying to accomplish. A couple of resources that we just want to point out to everyone. The College Board is studentsearch.collegeboard.org. It's a fantastic resource for searching schools. There are other online resources. And of course, the schools offer information about themselves for free and are on your side. As much as you feel judged by them, and they will judge you, your admissions counselor is really there to assist you, and hopefully you can take advantage of that. Your secondary school may also have a guidance counselor, someone who's on staff who has some professional training to help you along the way. And then ultimately, there are coaches, university access coaches like ourselves. In your country, in your community, there will be folks this is something that costs something, but it's very worth the investment. And we can't serve everyone. So this is an open endorsement for people out there. College advisors and consultants are experts in admission. They've helped, in our case, we've helped thousands of students fill out the application. We've addressed seems like every possible scenario, although we always get fun surprises. You've only done it once, and hopefully you'll only do it once. So, taking advantage of other experts and expertise is obviously an important investment. So we encourage you to seek out those folks and get the help you need so that this process can be seamless and painless and as little stress as possible. If we can be helpful, we want to, and feel free to contact us. We also want to hear if this information was helpful, if it was something that helped you in your process, then please contact us, let us know. Our website will give you that contact information, and you can reach out to us that way. Let me stop sharing here just for a second. I just want to say how grateful I am that because our mission is to help students have a much greater, fuller experience at university. Anytime anyone watches one of our videos or participates in any of our content, it helps us fulfill our mission. And so please share this with your friends, share this with your neighbors. We may not have any services that you need, but there may be someone that does need help in their process, and you may be the gift, the giver of the gift of information and of knowledge. So we thank you for gaining that through us. There's some additional resources, and you can see those after this video, but thank you again so much for taking the time to learn and get good information about this process. I hope this was helpful. Do let us know, and hopefully we will see you along your path.